Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my channel Learn Math with Syed Ali. So we were dealing with maximum and minimum point of the parabola in the last lecture, and we learned that if the vertex, like the maximum value of the parabola is the maximum or minimum value, is the parabola is the y coordinate, right? Y coordinate in the vertex form is k. So hk is the vertex, right? In the vertex form. And what is vertex form? Vertex form is a times x minus h whole square plus k. This is your vertex form. We learned that, right? And we are dealing with now another property of parabola, which is called line of symmetry or axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is sometimes denoted as a short form axis of symmetry, AOS, axis of symmetry, right? What is axis of symmetry? A line through a shape so that each side is a mirror image. When a shape is folded in half along that axis of symmetry, then two halves exactly match up. This is called axis of symmetry, right? So every picture or any picture has got axis of symmetry if it is exactly mirror up, right? So if we fold it on this line and it match up, this part match up with this part, then we say that this line is axis of symmetry or AOS. But we are dealing with parabola, and we will look into this parabola, that how to find out axis of symmetry if our equation is given in the vertex form or in the standard form. What is the standard quadratic form? Ax square plus bx plus c. This is the standard quadratic form, right? This is standard, right? And this one is vertex form, right? And we are dealing a new property here, which is called axis of symmetry. We dealt in the last lecture about the value of k, which determines y coordinate or minimum or maximum point, y coordinate, right? Or maximum or minimum point of the parabola, right? The maximum value of the parabola is the y coordinate of the vertex if parabola opens down. So if we learned that in the last lecture, that if it is open down, this point will be y coordinate of this, the vertex will be hk, right? And it's open down, right? If it opens down, it's the maximum value, right? Maximum value. What is the maximum value? K, because it's the y coordinate which determines the maximum value. Now another property is axis of symmetry, that how axis of symmetry works. So if we have a parabola which is having a vertex at origin, this is 0, 0, and we all know that this equation is y is equals to x square, right? It is the basic equation of the parabola. Why basic equation? Because if we put h and k 0 and a as 1, then it reduces to y is equals to x square. And here the vertex is at origin. What is axis of symmetry for this parabola? Who will tell me? So that is interesting to know, that you can see that this line y-axis is mirroring up. If we fold along this y-axis, this part, right part, will be coincident or exactly match up with the left hand part. So that means here the axis of symmetry is y-axis. So sometimes in the fill in the blanks, a small question comes up, right? Or in the it is asked that what is the axis of symmetry of y is equals to x square. So answer is y is equals to x square has got axis of symmetry y-axis, right? Y-axis is axis of symmetry. What is axis of symmetry? A line through a shape so that each side is a mirror image, right? And when you fold it up onto that axis of symmetry, then these two halves exactly match up. So we learn about this. Now we have to see any other example. If we have if it translated here, maybe 1, 2, 3, let's say if it is translated on x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 3 unit here, right? And now my parabola is 3 unit translated. So where my parabola is? On the x-axis, right? So this transformation has occurred to this, right? It translated 3 unit onto the x-axis. So this is my new parabola, and now my equation is y is equals to x minus, so if it is h is positive, it will remain same, right? Because h is 3. So x minus 3 whole square plus, so k is still nothing, right? So what is axis of symmetry here? Plus k, right? What is axis of symmetry? This line is axis of symmetry. And how far is it now? What is the equation for this? Because now my vertex is 0 and 3 and 0. My vertex is 3 and 0. So my axis of symmetry is this line, right? So it is translated 3 unit. So how much, what is the equation of this line which is parallel to y-axis? We will say x is equals to 3, right? Is the line which is parallel to y-axis, right? So this is my axis of symmetry, y-axis, right? This is not my y-axis right now. This is my a line parallel to y-axis, 3 unit to the right. Okay. So now, if we have any equation, for example, y is equals to x square minus 2x minus 3, and we want to find out the axis of symmetry. So question is, find out axis of symmetry of this line. Find out axis of symmetry, right? So axis of symmetry means we need vertex, right? And how to find out the vertex? We know that vertex means h and k, and h and k means x value and y value, right? So we have to find out x value by the formula we learned in the last lecture, minus b over 2a. So we substitute the values. What are a, b, c here? A is equals to 1, b is equals to minus 2, c is equals to minus 3. So if you substitute these values, you will get what you will get here, minus b. So minus b, like 2, divided by 2, a is 1, right? So you will get minus 1. So here b was minus, so you get plus 1, minus minus plus. You get plus 1. And then when you substitute back this value into the quadratic equation, you get y, right? So y is equals to, let's see what y equals to, 1 whole square minus 2x minus 3. So you will be saying 1 minus 2 minus 3, right? What do you get here? Minus 4. Right? So now you have your vertex. What is your vertex? X is the h, 1, and y is minus 4. So you have now your vertex of this equation. But you need to find out axis of symmetry. What is axis of symmetry in this case? So your equation here will be, axis of symmetry is always x is equals to k. What is k? K is this, right? So remember that x is equals to k is your axis of symmetry. So this is my k. So where my equation, if I want to draw it roughly, 1 minus 4. So 1, right, 1 and minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my axis of symmetry, and my parabola is running like this, somewhere like this, right? So if it runs like this, my vertex is this, right? What is my axis of symmetry? Axis of symmetry is right here. Right? This is my axis of symmetry. And how much apart from this to this? Right? This is 1 unit. So what is this equation? X is equals to 1. Always x is equals to 1 for this, right? Whatever coordinate you take, x will be 1. So x is equals to 1 is a line of symmetry for this line. Right? X is equals to 1 is line of symmetry for this line. Hope you understand. Right? So in this case, when you have quadratic form, then you have to find out minus b over 2a for x value, and then substitute it back to get the y value. Then you have the vertex, and then you can decide that what is your axis of symmetry. So your line which is passing through 1, So x is always 1. What is the equation for this line which is parallel to y-axis and 1 unit away? X is equals to 1, right? Always you can see that x is equals to 1 will be there. X is equals to 1, 1, 1. X is equals to 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. And every point on this parabola will be mirroring up across this point, right? So that means this is your axis of symmetry, AOS, axis of symmetry. But if you have got the standard form, for example, you have a times x minus h whole square plus k is equals to 0, then we see here, right? So it was easy to locate what is your axis of symmetry. It's right here, axis of symmetry. So these values of h or k are very important to determine several aspects of the parabola. For h value, we can find out the line or axis of symmetry. For the k value, we can find out the maximum or the minimum point. And these are the vertex, right, where the maximum or the minimum value occurs. So hope you understand the concept of axis of symmetry. So in both cases, you can find out axis of symmetry, but you have to know the vertex. So how to find out the vertex? Vertex is h and k. So in standard form, it is easy to locate the vertex. And in quadratic form, you have to find out x coordinate by minus b over 2a and y coordinate by substitute back this value into the equation. You get your vertex. When you get your vertex, you have your minimum and maximum point, right? So you have your minimum and maximum point, and you have the axis of symmetry, right? This is your axis of symmetry, which is x is equals to 1. So hope you like the video. If you like it, subscribe my channel, press bell icon button to receive another video. Thank you for watching.